Speedo swimsuits, smoke detectors, advanced water filtration, memory foam, solar panels. William Shatner once said, "There's more space in your life than you think." These are just a fraction of the technologies that we have NASA to thank for. While exploring space, the final frontier, is incredible and important, the things that NASA develops impact our economy and have huge developmental effects on our nation as a whole. And that's why it's important that in this election cycle, you go out and vote for candidates that will adequately fund NASA. I worked at Kennedy Space Center's Visitors Center in 2013 and 2014. I learned a ton about how imperative space exploration is and the giant effects that it's had on our economy and our nation, how far we've come and how far we can go. Through the course of this speech, we're going to go over why our society needs NASA, how NASA has and will continue to satisfy these needs with proper funding, and what our society will look like with and without adequate NASA funding. So why do we need NASA? NASA's funding has continued to dwindle since 1966. Soon NASA will be without funding and cease to be able to explore space and further our knowledge about space. For example, due to continuous budget cuts, our shuttle program was unable to sustain itself, and now we have to piggyback on the Russian shuttle for a very hefty sum. The International Space Station has been imperative for incredible amounts of diverse research. This research cannot continue without funding, and this has huge implications for our economy and our space program. Our space program will fade from glory, but a recent study from the Space Foundation estimated that from their tiny budget, space-related activities contributed $180 billion to the economy in 2005. That's $10 for every $1 invested in NASA. The solution to this is simply, our country as a whole needs to revalue space exploration and vote accordingly. As leaders are elected who are willing to fund NASA appropriately, our space program will flourish, allowing new breakthroughs in space exploration and revitalizing our economy and our lives with all sorts of cutting-edge technology. Concerned about the budget? Recent conservative estimates have declared that NASA has actually a 3-to-1 return on its money, creating more taxable wealth than it uses to continue space exploration. So let's visualize what our country's future can look like based on NASA funding. If NASA funding is increased, the American people can be inspired by our space program once more. Space exploration will progress, and our economy and spirits will flourish as a country. President Obama has stated that if we set a goal to revitalize our space program, we could be sending humans to Mars by the 2030s. Imagine that, the first interplanetary travel. If the decline of NASA funding is not reversed, America will fade from the space frontier, replaced by other nations. Our economy and society will be immeasurably affected detrimentally. Our next generation of kids will read about awe-inspiring feats from a textbook instead of witnessing them on the television or in person. We can stop this and revitalize our space program. I hope that this has allowed all of you to realize the importance and potential for our space program. So, in 4 days, when our nation votes for its political representatives, vote for candidates that will understand and react to revitalize NASA. Personally, I will be voting to support these candidates and early voting to support these candidates. And I encourage you to do the same. We stand on the precipice of greatness. Through our support as citizens of the United States, we have the opportunity to rein in the next great chapter of space exploration and our nation. Thank you.